Hey folks, or folk. This is on my Mike Daily channel, which is a lot smaller. I think I've only got like 44 subscribers or something. And on this channel, basically, I'm going to be I'm going to try and do a live stream every day, which is basically me. Now that I've got this new setup where I've got the three Moogs playing, and then I'm playing over the top of them. That's all there is at this point. And so this channel is really going to be me doing these performances and occasionally just talking about what I'm doing. I mean, that's what I'm thinking at the moment. Obviously, will change according to what is happening. And as such, I will just be doing the live streams as and when I get a minute, rather than them being kind of always scheduled. So sometimes I'll probably be in my pajamas, and I'm not taking that idea off. Oh, what's the guy called? The guy who plays in his pajamas. But anyway, yeah, it'll just be because that's what the situation is. I've just got to get these things in when I can do them. So yes, happy New Year to you as well, Doug. Great to see on here. So I've been, since I got the Santo brought me the Subharmonicon, I've found it very simple to do very joyful music, because there's basically two different tunings that you can do. I mean, you can turn off the tuning on it. One is 12, well, there's actually 4, because there's just intonation and equal temperament, and that's kind of to do with the harmonic series and stuff. But basically, equal temperament is what we know of as Western tuning, and within just intonation and equal temperament, you've got two options. If you want the notes of the Moog, the Subharmonicon plays to be tuned, because you can also turn it off and just have them like not tuned in microtones. And the two options are 12 notes of the scale, which is a chromatic scale, and the other is the diatonic scale, which is 8 notes of a scale, and that's the major scale. Now, when I realized that, I was very happy, because I love playing in the major. I find it very, I mean, it's just obviously, it just kind of feels very joyful, and a lot of electronic music isn't in major keys at all. And people tend to shy away from it. They tend to find it a bit scary, probably a bit cheesy. I mean, I did for years. And the thing is, I love it. And I'm not really as scared anymore by these things, because I don't really have anything to lose. I mean, that's how I feel. I probably never did, but now I kind of feel that I really don't have anything to lose. So I've been absolutely having the time of my life, just playing over the top of these major key things that just kind of automatically come out of it. But obviously, you can also create sort of more like darker things on the Subharmonicon by kind of putting the root of the tonality somewhere else. So it's like a major key becomes a minor key. So I thought today what I would do is just try something, like try and do something really weird, try something kind of strange, and contrast it with the kind of thing that I like to do on the piano and other instruments. So just to share what's going on, here I've got the Subharmonicon coming in here, the DFAM coming in here, and the Mother 32 coming in here. So the Mother 32 is, oh no, you can't see there. Ooh. Hang on. Yeah, the Mother 32 is the top one, the Subharmonicon is the middle one, and the DFAM is the bottom one. Maybe if I move that like this. There we go. And then here I've got a piano sound. I've got a sort of synth lead sound that I quite like, a string sound, and I probably won't use this one actually. So that's what I've got going on there, and it is actually synced to It is actually so the this is Luna, by the way, and Luna is sending out MIDI clock via a multi-clock to these instruments, but that's it basically. But as you can see, this is so it's going at 200 BPM, but it's not actually. Well, it doesn't sound like 200 BPM. You'll hear it because of the way that the rhythm works in the subharmonicon. It's kind of a subdivision of it. And that's one of the things that's going to make it sound quite weird. It's like I've managed to create this patch which is very kind of lollopy, if you like. So yeah, so that's what's going on, and I'm gonna see what happens when I try and do something a bit stranger, a bit weirder, a bit less kind of just. So yeah, let's give it a go. So I'm going to mute my mic and begin. Hi Tim, good to see you. Expect something a bit weird today if you just arrived. Who knows, it might not end up being weird at all. We'll find out. Don't really know what I'm going to do. I've just set up the patch, so we'll find out. Right, so I've got, the other thing is I've got everything recording here in dry, but you'll be hearing the wet signal to make it kind of sound nicer than dry. So at the end of it, I will actually have the audio files separated in case I want to kind of move it forward in the automatic music machine. So here goes. The other thing is I may well forget to change my camera every now and again. There's so much to think about in doing these things, but I will attempt to change my camera so that you can see, yeah, so it's a kind of better view. Okay, so there we go. As ever with these things, you, with the well, actually, there's two things with this kind of modular stuff. You never quite know what's going to. Well, you do sometimes. You know what's going to happen. Quite often, you don't quite know how the different relationships with things are gonna pan out when you turn a certain knob or something. And sometimes it can go woo, like off somewhere. But that's really what makes it. I mean, it's what can make the wheels come off. It's what makes the wheels come off at times. But also, what this is, what I'm doing here is I'm like taking the whole concept. I mean, you don't have to do this at any point in your music career to make music. You don't have to be able to or want to do this. But for me personally, it's like when I realized about the distinction between design and discovery, and when I realized that, you know, as a musician, I'm very much on the discovery end of things. It's like I think everybody needs to be able to use both, right? But I think certain musicians are more designy just by nature, and other musicians are more discovery-y. And those who are more designy could do with sort of practicing more discovery because it gives you another sort of avenue to go along, sort of, you know, letting go and opening your mind. Similarly, those who are very, very much on the discovery end sometimes probably could do with, you know, focusing a bit more on the sort of design end of things. But for me as a musician, like all of my best ideas come in the moment. I mean, literally all of them, and the majority of them I'm not responsible for, in that it's like they're either an accident or that, you know, that there's something that I didn't actually think of. And really what I'm doing here, and the reason that I'm kind of progressively moving in this direction on a personal level, and again, I'm not training you here, I'm telling you what I'm doing, right? So I'm not saying you need to do this, but on a personal level, the reason I've been going in this direction is that I recognize that as a musician, I just get so much out of the discovery side of things. I don't know if you've seen the show. I watched the new Disney Pixar over the weekend with my kids. It's called Soul, and it's got Jamie Foxx as a you know, sort of jazz pianist. Really watch it. I mean, you know, it's very kind of Disney-ish, but it's absolutely great because it kind of talks about it's all about purpose, and I mean, it's very relevant to musicians as well. And I even cried because I'm just that kind of, yeah. But anyway, so it kind of, in it, there's this bit where it's about being in the flow, and what happens when you're in the flow and you just kind of lose yourself in a sense. You lose your thinking mind is what I think people mean. You lose your conscious involvement. It's not even that you are in the music. It's that you are a part of the music. You're simply you're a participant in what is happening. Ooh, really good. What a great time to find that sound effect. There you go, discovery in action. So you're a sort of you're a participant in the flow of what's happening, and it's like, it's not really that you're lost. You just don't know that you are where you are. You're in it, and really, that's what this for me is. You know, that's why I'm doing it like this. That's why I've had, you know, in coming back to music, aside from the first album, which was really just about me going, "Ooh, look what you can do." It's really about me moving towards being able to make and, you know, compose music live. That's what I want to be able to do. You know, to the point I want to get so good at it that literally I just don't need to do anything other than it's almost like just bounce out that and it would be finished, right? I don't know whether that's ever going to be possible, but that's what I would like to get to. And I don't know why I started talking about this, but anyway, but what that kind of involves is being okay with things going wrong, and finding things in things going wrong, or being okay with there being sections of the music where it's just kind of like, oh no, I don't know what's going on, it's like really out of time, or it's just, whoa, is this too much? It's kind of pushing the boundaries and everything, because within that often you can find something that you wouldn't have found had you not gone there. And you know, over the last few days, I mean, I've done one of these performances every day on my own. I've been done 2 some days as well. And I think I've live streamed the last few days of performances as well. But in doing them myself over the last few days, I've kind of taken the safe route in a sense, in that I've not been doing anything that's sort of pushing the boundaries. I've just been kind of very, very kind of, I find myself a little comfort zone with my major keys and the very kind of happy, joyful, cheesy type stuff that's been going on. But I just woke up this morning and I was like, you know, I want to do something just a bit edgy and weird and see where I can take it. Because that contrast between the sort of piano with this like thing behind it, kind of has quite a, you know, it has quite an effect, rather than everything just being kind of hands in the air and happy. So yeah, so I think, you know, my plan with this, oh yeah, and just to show you, as you may be interested, where are we? There we go. So here you can see I've got the Subharmonicon and the DFAM and the Mother 32 sound files here, and they're dry. And I've got the MIDI files of the piano tech and the strings that I played. So that when I come back to, and that what I'm going to do now is I'm going to export this. I won't do it now because I might crash the computer. I might crash the computer, yeah, but I'll basically export that. That will go into my splurge folder, and then they will move, you know, into the machine as normal. But the great thing about having this is that now I can, if I choose to, design it into a shorter piece of music. For one, if I want to, I don't know whether I want to. Like, I listened to one this morning. I listened to a splurge that I'd done in this way this morning, and I'm like, actually, it was 25 minutes long, I think, and I just thought it was. I just was like, this is great. I don't really want to change anything about it. And this is also one of the benefits of digital, is that, you know, our idea that a track has to be a certain length is based upon physical products, you know, initially. And I get very excited about the artists that I see playing with length, you know, so people who do really short things like 1 minute because of the length of Instagram, but also people doing really long ones as well. And I think if a piece of music isn't, you know, is still doing something and not just kind of long for its own sake, there's nothing wrong with that. So that's something that, you know, this is kind of bringing up for me as well. But yeah, anyway, so subscribe to the Mike Munn Daily channel. As I said, this channel is much more going to be me sharing my own process, and it's kind of teaching in a way, I suppose. It's coaching in a way, I suppose, but it's really more just me sharing the sort of, you know, what I'm doing with the Zentor project, and probably, you know, other stuff if that ever happens, you know. And it's, you know, the reason I'm doing it on a Mike Munn Daily channel rather than Zentor is that I want to, as far as possible, make Zentor sort of the artist, the sort of mysterious artist. And because, you know, if in the unlikely event that non-musicians start to like the Zentor stuff, they probably don't want to hear me drone on about, you know, here's the routing for, you know, from the Mother 32 to the Subharmonicon. They probably just want to listen to the music. So the other channel where we do Momentum Mondays and, you know, all of that kind of stuff, that's the Make Music Your Life channel. This is where I will do performances of, well, when I say performances, I'll probably do the splurge type performances, the experiments that I'm doing here. And if I ever get to the point where I feel that I'm kind of good enough to sort of do a proper performance, then that will probably be something that I would put on a Zentor channel. It'll just be like a performance, like a musician. So that's kind of how I'm thinking about this right now. So if you're interested in seeing the ongoing journey of this new sort of live, live made music thing, then subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you soon. Now I better go and do some real work now. So because we've got the Idea Explosion Challenge competition starting tomorrow, so I've got to prepare the first live stream for that, which will be over on the usual channel. So good to see you folks, and I will see you very soon. Onwards and upwards.